Okay, let's just get right into it. What's the damn point? Seriously, if we're all just going to die, if everything turns to dust, what actually matters?
Mhm.
Why bother trying to live a good life, a moral life, when it all just ends? It's that question that hits you,
Yeah.
right, late at night.
Oh, yeah. It's the kind of question that throws you straight into that void Frankel talks so much about, that existential vacuum, where you've got the
Yeah,
means to live, but absolutely nothing to live for.
exactly. And that's why today we're diving deep. We're getting into the mind of Viktor Frankl, a guy who stared into the absolute abyss, the Nazi camps, and somehow pulled out this brutal wisdom about being human. We're digging into man's search for meaning, his experience, his insights. And let's be clear, this isn't some fluffy self-help bullshit. This
Okay.
is about finding a reason, a why, when everything, and I mean everything, is ripped away. Our mission here is to see how people found a way to stand up, or just keep crawling, in the most fucked up situations imaginable.
It really is staggering. What Frankel shows is what's left when all the external stuff is just annihilated.
All right, so let's paint the picture. You're crammed 80 people into a train car for days, lying on whatever crap you managed to bring. Fear, stench, it's suffocating.
Yeah.
And everyone is clinging to this delusion of reprieve, thinking maybe it's not so bad, maybe a factory.
You see the capos, the prisoner guards looking well-fed, even laughing, and you think, hey, maybe I can survive this. Maybe even get in on their good
The
fortune.
desperate hope, even as the word Auschwitz starts ripping through the train. That horrific realization.
That initial shock. It's your brain just trying to shield itself. But the reality was way worse than they could imagine. Frankel describes that chilling selection process, the finger game, just a casual flick of an SS officer's finger. That tiny movement sending 90% of people straight to the gas chambers, the sheer dehumanizing randomness of it all, you have zero control.
The finger game, Jesus.
Yep.
It just screams, you are nothing. And then that moment, Pregel talks about trying to hide his manuscript, his life's work. And this veteran prisoner just looks at him as intellectual trying to save his papers and just yells, shit.
Huh. Yeah. Brutal honesty.
One word, and boom. Everything you thought you were, your work, your past, your status, just shit. Gone. Reduced to a naked body, no hair, no shoes, not even a belt. You're a number. Tattooed on your skin. So when everything is gone, what the hell is left? What are you then?
What's left is just raw existence,
Right.
stripped bare. Your job, your clothes, your name, all shown to be paper thin. The whole system was designed to destroy the self, right? To make people just a mass. But Frankel saw that even then, something inside and some people just held on.
And that leads to the next phase, doesn't it? Apathy. This like emotional death.
Yeah, a total shutdown.
It's savage, but it's self-defense. Your mind just blunts everything to survive the constant horror. Frankel writes about seeing horrific things, a kid's frostbitten toes
Yeah.
just being picked off, a dead guy stripped for his shoes and feeling nothing.
Just cold observation, detached.
How does a person get there?
Ah.
To that level of numbness?
It's an extreme adaptation, Your emotional circuits just overload and trip to stop you from completely breaking down. But what really struck Frankel, what sometimes cut deeper than the physical beatings,
Yeah.
was the injustice. The total dehumanization, like that guard throwing a stone at him, treating him like an animal, not even worth a curse.
Or the foreman calling him a pig, judging his whole life without knowing a damn thing.
That's when the anger flared up, that spark of indignation. It was the human spirit, however faint, still fighting back against being nothing.
Right. The insult beyond the blows, being treated like you're worthless, like you're not even human, that digs deep. And the daily grind was just relentless, wasn't it? This hamster wheel of just staying alive.
Absolutely. Life reduced to the absolute basics.
Dreaming of bread, cake, a warm bath, obsessing over food, even though talking about it just made the hunger worse.
Freedom from suffering became the peak of happiness. A negative happiness, as he called it.
And the cigarettes. That's chilling.
Oh, yeah, the ultimate sign. When a man started smoking his own cigarettes.
Because they were currencies. Right, you could trade them for food.
Exactly. So smoking your own meant you'd given up. You'd traded the future, any hope of survival, for a tiny bit of immediate pleasure. The why was gone. It was basically a death sentence you gave yourself.
Total surrender. They just knew they were done. And you see echoes of that now, don't you?
For sure.
People feeling they have no future, turning to drugs or whatever to numb out because they can't see a point. It's the same damn emptiness, the same existential vacuum.
Precisely. Lacking a future, a meaningful future, can be way more destructive than immediate pain. Which brings us right back to Frankel's core idea, pulling from Nietzsche. He who has a why to live for can bear almost anyhow.
And for Frankl, stuck in that hell, this wasn't some nice philosophical idea. It was life or death, pure survival.
Absolutely.
So how did he find his why? He talks about that march, right? Slipping on ice, leaning on someone.
Then his mind just went somewhere else.
Yeah, he started thinking about his wife really intensely, having conversations with her in his head.
Vividly, as if she were there.
And he had this realization. Love is as strong as death. It didn't matter if she was physically there or even alive. The love itself, that internal connection, gave him this unbelievable strength.
That inner world, that spiritual freedom. It was a lifeline. Even when you can't do anything externally, you can find meaning in that loving thought, that inner richness.
But it wasn't just love, right? It was also his work.
Yes, his commitment to his manuscript, trying to reconstruct his life's work, his logotherapy, scribbling notes on scraps of paper even when he was sick with typhus. It's this incredible act of defiance through creation.
That's just wow.
Yeah.
Recreating your life's work while facing death daily and then volunteering for the typhus ward. He called it simple mathematics.
Not sacrifice. Yeah, a cold calculation almost.
He figured, if I'm going to die anyway, let my death mean something. Let me help someone. It wasn't about feeling noble. It was about finding purpose in the inevitable.
And even in all that darkness, these little flickers of humanity, beauty, humor.
Right, like stopping to watch a sunset in Auschwitz, thinking how beautiful the world could be.
Or the grim humor they developed, the gallows humor. Like the surgeon joking about action in the makeshift operating room. It was a way to cope, to get some distance.
It highlights that idea about the relativity of suffering, doesn't it?
Totally. A train not going to Mauthausen, which was certain death, meant prisoners heading to Dachau felt this surge of joy. A messed up scale, but it shows how perspective shifts.
Which leads to the core truth, the knockout punch from Frankl.
Right.
Everything can be taken from a man but one thing.
The last of the human freedoms. To choose one's attitude in any given set of circumstances, to choose one's own way.
He tells that story of the young woman dying, but dying cheerfully, finding meaning in a single tree branch outside her window, saying, I am here, I am life, eternal life.
It's not about pretending everything's okay. It's not toxic positivity.
No, it's about claiming that final, untouchable power, that inner space no one can invade. It's pure defiance.
It's that defiant human spirit. And this shapes his idea of tragic optimism.
Saying yes to life, despite the unavoidable shit, the pain, the guilt, the fact that we all die.
Exactly. It's about actively choosing to turn suffering into an achievement, using guilt to become better, and seeing life's temporary nature as a reason to act responsibly. Now.
It's hard work. It's the active work of living meaningfully.
So logotherapy emerged from all this, his meaning-centered psychotherapy.
And it's different from Freud or Adler, right? Not focused on pleasure or power struggles.
Right. It's less about digging into your past baggage and more about looking forward. What meaning can you fulfill now? What's your purpose going forward?
It's about what you can do, not just what happened to you.
A crucial shift. And Frankl saw this existential vacuum everywhere, this inner emptiness. Boredom, depression, aggression, addiction. He linked so much of it back to a frustrated will to meaning.
People have the means, but no meaning. Like his example of unemployment neurosis.
Yeah, people felt useless without jobs, but get them volunteering, finding purpose in unpaid work, and the depression lifts, even if they're still broke.
Because it wasn't about the money. It was about having a reason, a purpose.
Which challenges our whole idea of mental health being about comfort or a tension-free life. Frankl called that no dynamics.
Right, he said healthy tension is good. Like architects increasing the load on an arch to make it stronger.
Exactly. The striving, the struggling towards a goal you care about, that's what makes us feel alive. Not avoiding tension, but embracing the right kind of tension.
So much for our modern obsession with just being comfortable all the time.
It really flips the script.
Yeah.
And it puts the responsibility back on us. Life asks us questions.
You don't ask life what's the meaning. Life asks us what meaning will you create.
And we answer by being responsible. That's why he wanted that Statue of Responsibility on the West Coast to balance the Statue of Liberty.
Freedom to take a stand, not just freedom from stuff.
Yeah, it puts the power and the burden right back in your lap.
And you find that meaning through self-transcendence, he said.
By forgetting yourself. By giving yourself to a cause or loving another person. Happiness and self-actualization, they're just side effects. They happen when you stop chasing them directly.
Stop staring at your own navel and look outward. Lose yourself in something bigger.
And he offered practical tools, too, like paradoxical intention. Sounds kind of nuts, but...
Yeah, tell us about that. You basically try to do the thing you're afraid of?
Pretty much. Using humor and detachment, like the guy terrified of sweating in public, Frankel told him, okay, next time, decide to sweat. Show them how much you can sweat. Aim for quarts.
And it worked.
Broke a 4-year phobia in one session, apparently? Or the bookkeeper with writer's cramp tell him to try to write as badly, as messily as possible, and suddenly he can't.
It's like you lean into the fear so hard, you kind of call its bluff.
Yeah.
You ridicule it.
Exactly. You detach. You use humor. It breaks the cycle of fear feeding fear. Pretty clever.
So all of this, it circles back to his core belief, the unconditional dignity of human beings.
Man is ultimately self-determining. Even in the camps, he saw people act like saints and others act like swine. Same conditions, different choices.
We choose what we become, even in the worst hell imaginable.
That's the unshakable foundation. He even talks about Dr. J, this mass murderer from an asylum,
Yeah.
who, after years in prison, apparently became this model prisoner, comforting others, living morally. It shows change is always possible. Transformation is always on the table.
Wow. Okay. And that ties into his point about dignity versus usefulness,
Yeah.
which is, man, that's a tough one for today.
It really is. We worship success, youth, productivity, being useful.
And Frankl says, if value is only about usefulness, then the Nazi euthanasia of the sick and old. It starts to make a horrifying kind of twisted sense.
But he insists human dignity is unconditional. It doesn't matter if you're productive or successful by society's standards. Your worth is inherent, period.
That's radical today. It forces you to question how we value people, doesn't it?
Deeply uncomfortable questions. And he ends with that killer line. There are two races of men. The race of the decent man and the race of the indecent man.
And they're everywhere, in all groups.
It cuts through all the tribalism, all the labels. It comes down to individual choices, moment by moment. Who are you choosing to be?
So, wrapping this up, we've gone through hell and back looking at Frankl's experience. And the takeaway, meaning isn't just found, it's forged.
In the choices you make,
Yeah.
especially when things are tough.
It's not about chasing happiness. It's about finding a reason to keep going, a why strong enough to handle almost anyhow. It's about responsibility, love, purpose, choosing your damn attitude, living that moral life because it's the only way to truly live.
It's a powerful reminder of the strength we actually have, the freedom we always possess, no matter the circumstances. Life is always asking something of us.
Okay, so here's the final thought to chew on. Frankl wrote, since Auschwitz, we know what man is capable of. And since Hiroshima, we know what is at stake.
Yeah. Think about it. We've seen the absolute depths of human cruelty and the heights of human resilience and decency, sometimes in the same person, the same situation. We contain both. So what brutal truth does that leave you with about the choices you make every single day? What's the why you're living for? And are you willing to bear whatever how comes with it?